video. I'm so excited. Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Daily Life with Tea, and I don't spill the tea because I am the tea. Today's video is a little bit different, okay? So today we're not going to be doing a vlog or anything like that. Today I'll be talking to you guys. Today, we are going to be talking, we are going to be kulumaring, you know, up close and personal. Yeah, today we're going to be up close and personal, you know. Today's video is about social work for my people who want to know more about social work and are interested in studying social work. I'll be sharing with y'all my experience as well as information that you need to know about social work, or what you need to consider before thinking that you want to do social work, or putting yourself in that situation and realizing that this was an accident, you know. So yeah, I received your guys' questions. Not a lot of people asked though, but yeah, it is what it is, and I'm just gonna do this video for the few that want to really know about social work. And I hope you do enjoy this video. If there's something that I did not cover in the video, please ask me in the comment section. I will respond to the best of my ability. And also the information that I'll be giving out right now, I did my research, and some of the information I'll be giving will also be based on what I know, based on my experience and what I've witnessed. And yeah, and firstly, I'm gonna start with what social work is. So some of y'all might have a general idea of what social work is, and to be fair, I also had a general idea of what social work was when I decided to study social work. I only understood what social work was the moment I started studying it, and I was like, social workers all do all these jobs? Tell me you are lying. Because my idea of social work at the beginning was counseling, working with children in terms of like when parents are divorcing, like, you know, those kind of things. And I think most people kind of have the same type of mentality I had before I started studying social work, because I feel like most people think social work only has to do with counseling, as I said, has to do with giving people food packages, because anywhere where there's food packages, there's a social worker there. What else? Removing children from abusive homes. What else? I'm not too sure. Guys, please share your ideas of what you thought social work was all about in the comment section so that I know what general idea you had. Please, guys, please. So yeah, basically what I can say is social work is a lot more than just that. Social work is a lot more than that. Like, just keep this in mind, ne? You are a human being, ne? First, number one, we are social beings. No human being is supposed to live in isolation or whatever. And on the other hand, we live in a world that is not just. It is not fair. There are a lot of people who are still living in poverty. Our environment is not giving. Like, there's just a whole lot of problems that are affecting our social lives and us as human beings. So if you think of all those problems that we face that affect us as human beings, like socially and psychologically, and you just think of all those things, that's where you will find a social worker intervening. You know, that's where you will find a social worker intervening. So this is one profession that will never go extinct, because as much as human beings are still alive, there will be a social worker there, you know. So yeah, now let me just tell you guys what social work is. Let me stop talking too much. Oh, and by the way, a little bit of a disclaimer, I wrote everything down on my laptop, so if you see me looking on the side, just know that I am looking at the points that I wrote down so that I don't forget what I am actually saying, you know. So please bear with me. What is social work? Okay, social work is a practice-based profession that promotes social change, social cohesion, and empowerment and liberation of people. Therefore, we work with people who are marginalized, people who are vulnerable, people who are oppressed, people who are living in poverty. So whilst working with these types of people, we enhance their well-being or their social functioning. We try to help them meet their basic and complex needs. Basically, when you look at social work, you just think social work is a helping profession. So we are trying to relieve people's suffering, we are fighting for social justice, and we are trying to improve people's lives in communities and in their individual or family lives. So if the first definition of social work is too bombastic for you, what I can say is, in a nutshell, social workers help people overcome life's challenges. And some of the challenges that social workers help people with is poverty, discrimination, abuse, literally any type of abuse, disability, physical illness, divorce, mental illnesses, and so much more. I could name more, but as long as you get the general idea of what social workers do. If you want more information, please do your research and find out more information with regards to what social workers do and different types of social work that is out there. So where exactly do you find social workers? You find social workers everywhere. You find social workers everywhere. Like we are here. Next thing, you'll find us at clubs. You'll find us at clubs because Nina Ntandu Kala, when you are drunk, we will be counseling you there at clubs. I'm just kidding, but don't you guys think we need social workers at clubs? Because you'll be going through too much. You'll be going through too much. But okay, let's stop with the jokes. Okay, so where exactly can you find social workers? You find social workers in court, giving recommendations. You find them in hospitals, helping people deal with or cope with chronic illnesses. You find them in communities, helping communities in terms of like therapy or like trying to decrease the rates of children who are dropping out of school. You find social workers in prison, working with prisoners to help them reintegrate back into society or into their communities after they've just been released from prison. You find social workers in a rehab, working with people who are addicted to drugs or like alcohol, those type of things. And then you find social workers in NGOs, like they are doing outreach programs. They are out there giving out food parcels, as you all might know. We are out there giving food parcels and stuff, but there's a lot more that NGOs do, by the way. So and then you find social workers in children's homes. You find them in homeless shelters. You find them in places whereby there were natural disasters. For example, if there is a flooding somewhere, you'll find a social worker there. For example, there was that where was it? Where that I forgot the name of the place, whereby that fuel truck bombed the entire place or whatever. But I think you know what I'm talking about. I just forgot the name of the place. But where there was that truck that got underneath the bridge, next thing, boom, it exploded, and then people died, and the whole community, houses were destroyed. It was just a lot. There were social workers there. Literally, there were social workers there. Like anywhere where there's a natural disaster, social workers are there. And then you find social workers in military offering therapy services to like your military people and veterans and whatnot, that kind of thing. And then so that's where you find the social workers. Like there are other places as well where you find social workers, but you can do more research on that because I'm just here to give you the surface level so that you get an understanding of what social work is and what to expect if you are considering working as a social worker. In our social work lives or our social work jobs or whatever, we play different types of roles, So the roles that social workers play are like advocacy, being a counselor, being a mediator, being a researcher, being an educator, being a facilitator, being an empowerer, being a broker, what's that other one? Being an enabler. Like there's a whole lot of roles that we play. But let me just explain what I just mentioned now so that you understand what I'm saying. So as advocates, we become a voice for the voiceless. So as advocates, we we influence policies in order for those policies to benefit people who are facing social injustices, basically. So wherever policy making is happening, you will find a social worker. You will find a social worker. Don't just think that these policies are just done here and we are not there. We are there. We are there when policies are made. You know, to make sure that any policy that's put out there is fair for everyone and not just benefiting certain people and discriminating or disadvantaging other people. So yeah, so social work is basically about fairness and justice and equality and equity, you know. So and then we are also counselors. We help you clarify your needs and help you find strategies and solutions to help you meet those needs. And also we help you build up your resilience. And then we are also mediators. We play the mediating role. And as mediators, we help people who are in a conflict together to help them reach an agreement that is going to be mutually beneficial for the both of them, you know. And an example of this, you find it during divorce, basically. We are also researchers. Yeah, we are also researchers. We do research about social work practices and we do research about policies that are out there. Hence, I said we also look at those policies. If there's a policy that's discriminating against people, we will stand up against it and be the voice for those who can't speak for themselves, or be the voice for those who are not being listened to once again. We are also educators, for example, your lecturers. And as educators, we also empower people by equipping them with skills. Like, for example, you find social workers teaching people skills such as like ways to like make money, basically, you know, like different types of skills that can help you improve your lives, basically. So yeah. And then we are also brokers. As a broker, we identify and locate different types of resources that our service users need, and then we link our service users to those resources to help them meet their basic and complex needs. And yeah, those are some of the roles that we play. There are also more roles that we play. We empower people, we do all these things. So you can do research on the different types of roles that we play as social workers. Before I go into what to expect if you are going to study social work, I'm just gonna answer one of the questions. No, two of the questions that I got. Two of the questions that I got about social work. So someone asked that, is a social work qualification the only way you can get into social work? Unfortunately, yes. You need to study social work to be a social worker. That's the only way you can be a social worker, unless if there's information out there that I don't know of. But what I know is that you need a social work qualification to be a social worker. Because which other qualification is going to teach you casework? Which qualification is going to teach you group work? Which qualification is going to teach you community work, statutory work? You see, it'll be disadvantaging you, Shame. It'll be disadvantaging you. And therefore, you do need to study social work to be a social worker. How is the employment rate? Guys, so someone asked Uguti, how is the employment rate and is it advisable to be a social worker? Let me even sit properly. We all know this is South Africa. Ne? I'll speak on behalf of South Africans. I don't know about other countries, but like in South Africa, the employment rate is very low, to be honest with you. Irregardless of whether it's social work or whatever, we all know employment in South Africa is... Even doctors are unemployed. Literally, even doctors are unemployed, guys. Like, let's be serious. Even doctors are unemployed. Doctors, lawyers, you know. So it's I don't know if it's a South African problem or what, but unfortunately, if you're going to study social work, just know that the employment rate in social work is low. So you must be ready for anything. If you are willing to begezela, job hunting and all that, yeah, be ready. Just be ready. Because I won't really say, yeah, there's a lot of jobs. Yes, there's jobs out there. It's just that I feel like they don't hire people. They'll put posts out there and be like, okay, we need social workers or whatever. You send your CVs. At the end of the day, you know, like, I think at this rate we're living on luck basically. Or if you know someone working at a certain organization, then they can further you in there and squeeze you in or something. Like these days it's all about knowing people. To be honest with you all, it's all about knowing people. Like if you are going to get jobs, most people who get jobs know someone from where like they are working, literally, or they work within the organization and then there's a job post that's available and they're like, yo, yeah, you see. So it's kind of like that situation. You need to know people because, wow, these days it's all about who you know, not what you know, to be honest with you. Like, I go critical in South Africa, it's critical. So, yeah. So, is it advisable to study social work or choose to be a social worker? I wouldn't say yes and I wouldn't say no. Because I feel like it's both, yes or no. It just depends on the type of person you are. And let me just elaborate further, like just a little bit, so that you understand why I'm saying that it's both yes and no. Ne? Like it's advisable depending on the type of person you are and what you are willing to do and your expectations basically. And it's not advisable if your expectations are not going to be what you're going to be getting here basically. So let me just explain in terms of pros and cons, ne? In terms of pros and cons, so that I put it into perspective. So some of the consequences or the cons or the disadvantages of studying social work. If you are someone who wants to work and be rich, make a lot of money, it's not for you. It's not for you because firstly, social workers do a lot of work but are not getting paid enough money. So if your main thing is to make money, it's not for you. Unfortunately, it is not for you. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It is not for you. So there's a heavy workload and a little bit of money. Net for survival. Yeah, net for survival. Unless if you go to other countries. In South Africa, we all know the situation. But unless if you go to other countries, because yeah, other countries do pay like a lot of money. So yeah. And then another disadvantage is that you're gonna be working long hours. You are gonna find yourself in dangerous situations. For example, you might be like at a prison. You might be you might be at a prison. You might find yourself going to communities whereby it's dangerous, and you are going there with your fancy car and stuff like that, and you might even get robbed, you know, like those kind of things. So you're gonna find yourself in dangerous situations, and you're gonna be facing the worst things like that you have never faced in your life. For example, you'll find yourself in situations whereby you have to work with murderers, you have to work with rapists, and whilst working with these people, one of the ethics or values in social work is that you have to be non-judgmental. You have to be non-judgmental. You have to respect and acknowledge the worth and dignity of a person. Therefore, you cannot be judgmental and be like, just because of you raped someone, I'm gonna treat you like I want, or I'm gonna be like, nope, I can't work with you, or whatever. Yeah. Whether it's a rapist, a murderer, or angazini, the worst of society, you're gonna work with that kind of person. You're gonna work with that type of person, whether you like it or not, Shem. Whether you like it or not. So, hey, it's critical. And you're also going to find yourself in situations where you're not going to be able to intervene. And if you're not able to help someone and this person came with a problem that's critical, we are people, ne? We are empathetic. We really want to do our best to help people, but you'll find yourself in situations whereby you can help the person, and this can be frustrating for you, and it's going to affect you. So whatever happens at your job is going to definitely affect your personal life as well. You'll find yourself like drained at the end of the day. You are going to find yourself carrying other people's problems that are not for you, you know. So just get ready for that. If you are willing to carry other people's problems, then it's for you, but if not, it's not for you. And there's going to be lots of paperwork, especially if you are going to work as a statutory social worker or you want to work with children. There's a lot of paperwork. I won't even lie to you. Just be ready for that. And you are going to have to work with people who are very difficult to work with. So if you don't have any patience, it's definitely not for you. So yeah. And then the pros of working as a social worker is that social work is gonna always be in demand. It's just a matter of we are in South Africa, there are no jobs or whatever, but social workers are always in demand. This is one profession that is not about to disappear out of nowhere or whatever, out of the blue or whatnot, because as much as human beings are still alive, social workers will still be there. You are going to be able to work in various settings. For example, you can be a caseworker. As a caseworker, you can do counseling, one-on-one. You can be a group worker. You can do group work by working with people in rehab, work with Alcohol Anonymous or whatever, those kind of things where you work with people in groups. You can be a community worker and work with communities. You can do statutory work and work with children. And all 4 types of social work are taught in university. Therefore, you don't really lack in any of them. So you already have all the skills and knowledge that you need to do all 4 types. So you can choose. If you don't feel comfortable with casework, you can go into group work. You can do the other one or the other one. So yeah. And then you can also work anywhere you want, and you can also work internationally, because social workers are always in demand in countries whereby there's a whole lot of social injustice problems and all those things. And you can also make a difference, and making a difference is gonna be fulfilling for you, and it also gives you a sense of pride. So if you are someone who just wants to make a difference in the world and feel like you did what you can, or you were able to change someone's life, this is for you. If your priorities look like this, you want to make a change and you want to make money, then it's for you. But if you want to make money and you want to make a change, it's definitely not for you, to be honest with you, because the money part, if money is your main priority, it's not gonna work. You're gonna be unhappy, and Monday you're gonna give social workers a bad reputation because you're going to work because now you are angry because you are not getting paid enough for the job that you are doing, and now you're gonna give the service users attitudes or whatever, and the next thing we get a bad reputation. You go, I'm a social workers, they don't do their jobs. You get there, they look at you like you see that type of thing. So please be sure, if you want to do social work, be sure that your main thing is to help people and not to basically make money. Money should just be a bonus. So yeah, that's what I can say in terms of, is it advisable or not advisable? I hope I'm making sense. If you are still considering to do social work, now I'm going to tell you more about what to expect and what you need to study social work. So if you want to study social work, the APS score that you need to have, obviously it differs from university to university. Others want an APS score of 30, others want an APS score of 28. So I am not sure. Just make sure with the institution where you want to go and study at, just to be sure. So someone asked me, is it possible to study social work if you have an NCV in electrical engineering? So I'm guessing an NCV is a national certificate, not a national senior certificate. Yeah, I think, if I'm right. So when I did my research, I found that at UP, I'm not sure about other institutions, at UP, they consider people who have a national certificate to study for social work, but they must meet an exemption for a bachelor status, and status criteria, and they must meet the program's requirements. So just do research on the types of requirements that you need to meet in order to study social work. And if you have that bachelor status criteria or whatever, I don't know how all those things work, but please just make sure of that if you want to study social work. If by now you have decided, I want to learn, I want to go and study social work, what you can expect to be taught is to understand human behavior and human development. So we learn this, I think, mostly through psychology. So expect to be doing psychology. So expect to be doing psychology or learning psychology, because it's the one that helps us understand human development and human behavior. And then we also get taught to understand how the social, how economic, and how cultural institutions affect a person, because every single thing around us has an effect on us. So we get taught how those type of things have an effect on each and every human being. Although it is unique for each and every single person, we don't generalize. Okay, we don't generalize, so yeah. So some of the subjects or modules per se that you can expect to be learning in university as a social work student include sociology, psychology, anthropology. You have English during your first year. I think English, I don't know the other one, but yeah, I'm not sure about the other one. And then there's social welfare law, there's the business management. What else? I don't know if I'm forgetting some of the modules. So yeah, then you're going to be doing social work practice and social work theory. So yeah, that's what you can expect. And then I'm not too sure about fourth year, what modules you'll be doing, because I'm only in third year right now. So in fourth year, what I know is that they have a research module. So yeah, expect to be doing research during fourth year. What can you expect as a student in social work in the different years that you're going to be studying? So social work is a 4-year degree. Basically, it's a 4-year degree. During first year, you learn the basic stuff, and then towards the end of the year, I don't know about other universities, but in the University of Pretoria, we have a selection interview that we do, whereby they choose you. If you are chosen during your selection interview, then you are going to be going ahead to study in your second year. And then in second year, that's when you start doing community work, group work, and statutory work. Then that's when now things are more physical. They are more physical. You'll be going to communities, you'll be working with actual people. So yeah, just expect that, guys. Just expect that. And during your second year, you are going to be signed with the SAC, SSP, and you need to have your police clearance so that they can make sure that you don't have any criminal records, because you will be working with children in your third year. So when you are in third year, that's when you start doing casework. And with casework, you'll be working with children one-on-one, providing counseling. And then I'm not too sure towards the end of the year what you do, because I'm still at the beginning right now. And then in fourth year, also during your third year, you're going to be shadowing a social worker as well. So you're going to have observations and you're going to have casework. In fourth year, what I know is that fourth year is mostly physical, and then you still do have classes, but like it's going to be mostly physical. You are going to be placed in places whereby you're going to be working for majority of the year. Basically that's when you're going to be doing your practicals. Basically you'll be doing your practicals, and also you'll be doing research in fourth year. And then after fourth year, you graduate with your honors and kumnandi, and now you are a qualified social worker. So yeah, I hope I made sense, and I hope I gave you guys the information that you needed to know about studying social work, what to expect, what is it about. And yeah, I don't think there's anything else I can add right now. So if you have any more questions about social work, please feel free to ask me in the comment sections below, and just leave your comment and I will get back to you. And please don't forget to share what your ideas were about social work before you actually knew what social work was. So yeah, I hope you did enjoy this video, and I hope it was informative for you guys. And good luck with your studies, and good luck with your future endeavors, and good luck with whichever choice you make in terms of what you want to study. And yeah, I hope to see you guys as social workers. Yeah. It is a wrap from me, guys, and deuces. See you guys sometime next week.